put up the map bands up on the board, and we'll see which map we'll be playing on.
Will we get another coastline, or is it autoband? It is autoband, so we will not get another coastline.
I love coastline, but I don't want to see it 4 times in 1 year.
No, probably not. Probably not so much. But Cafe will not be seen either, and we will be going to Bank. So
we'll be seeing a lot of Jackal potentially again.
I imagine so. TSM has played this, but it was against EG, and so of course they lost.
Would you be surprised? I mean, seeing
7-4.
a team like DarkZero going to Bank.
Yeah, this is not a good map to take DarkZero 2. This is a very good map for DarkZero. So this is definitely going to be a serious battle. Not to mention, I imagine TSM showed some of their strats when they played EG on it, and you know, DarkZero going to be on top of that. So, not.
What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm. I gotta imagine DarkZero going to get quite a few of the votes. Although Bolo fans
are coming in hot.
All right, I wouldn't say any other number other than what's on the screen backs that up, but fans, we'll see if you can be proven right. Sometimes community vote is right on the underdogs. So
how often is the community?
We need stats on the stats.
Where Ice Cold Bartek? Are you watching this? Of course you are. Please, can you tell us how many times so far in this season the community vote has been right about who wins which game?
Yeah. Well, they were actually wrong about G2 earlier for once. For once, they lost the community vote and then won the match. It was interesting. Maybe that's what they needed, is to be the villains again that no one wanted to win. And they did. So maybe, I don't know.
Feed off of it.
Absolutely. Fabian seems to. I'm not sure if you saw his interview, but it was quite the interview, and I'm sure you were glad it wasn't Taro, not you.
No comment.
Yeah, anyways, this should be a good match, though, on Bank. Like you said, DarkZero, this is a good map for them. And TSM, having struggled of late, this is maybe a bit of a questionable choice to take DarkZero to this. I mean, then again, it's not like DarkZero have a ton of bad maps you could take them to. So I guess at the same time, that means DarkZero has shown a ton on this map as well. So you can take advantage of that if there's weaknesses you see. In terms of
basic strategies, sure, yeah, this is something that a lot of people often say, like, yeah, but they played this map so many times. Yeah, but when it's about not just dealing with strategies, but dealing with how your opponents actually move,
map knowledge,
how they shoot you, how do they take care of you one by one, and that level of teamwork. It's not really something you can prep for too effectively.
Yeah, you can just look for tendencies.
Yeah, you can look for exactly those patterns that emerge every now and then. Those are something that you might be able to exploit, but you have to be on their same level, because strategy is strategy, but a good team, at least the best teams, will be able to adapt everything to their needs, and that adaptation on the fly is what makes them so good.
Well, right now, according to the leaderboard, this is definitely DarkZero being so good, and TSM really having to change things up to be able to win this. Nonetheless, though, I have faith that this could be an interesting match regardless. As they at least were able to take 4 rounds off of EG on it, which is no slouch. Habana getting banned, not a surprise for Bank. That's, of course, going to make Maverick a must-pick, unless for some weird reason he gets banned too, which would be an interesting strategy from TSM, but very unlikely. Monty going to go, which is... both shields really are pretty good for Mint especially. So, yeah, you definitely want to be dealing with shields from DarkZero, especially on this map. Mira going to go as well, so not a huge amount of surprises here. Now, last time TSM played this, they banned Lion and Mira, so the difference being the Monty, and that, of course, is a target ban against DarkZero specifically. And Echo going to go as well, so we're not going to see the Echo play that we saw earlier. Although, funny enough, we saw so much Echo play earlier, but I don't know if we ever saw a single yokai fired. It was just down to using the ACOG and playing it, it seemed, from Rogue especially. But they might have been used for intel as well. Obviously, if they weren't pinging, it's kind of hard to see that. Locker CCTV first. Really no surprise there. This is very unlikely you want to go very many other places, although I could see sometimes teams going CEO like they used to. But with TSM not banning Lion, they're actually going to use it, or at least tease using it. They might 6th pick off of it, as Mark has not yet confirmed, and there it is. Jackal?
Yes.
There it is. All right. From one animal to the other.
I think DarkZero will definitely be using that Lion once they head to the attacking side.
And I got to imagine they're anticipating possibly that 6th pick to the Jackal as well. That's, I mean, if I was thinking it was going to happen, they're experienced enough to think that's a possibility as well.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking about? It's like the German Coast Guard. It's a wonderful ad actually for the German Coast Guard.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. That was a
Highly recommended. All right, so we start off here as we're kind of looking for the audio. Hyper will just start running around, setting up his black eyes. One in the back here. And
yep. Got to have one on the garage cam, of course.
there you go. Hello. It was so odd, like trying to listen in and talk about stuff where we can't hear anything.
You just gotta
It's
imagine
so
it.
weird. Just making the
All the people who watched the stream muted didn't even notice.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
No comment.
Well, they wouldn't even hear you if you had one. Bolo going to be approaching all on his lonesome from the street here. A little bit dangerous, but he might be looking to take the lobby. Now, of course, they're going to spread out and try and take the map as fast as they can so that they have extra time to try and push downstairs. There's going to be the Pulse as usual, but there's also going to be the Evil Eyes and the Black Eyes to provide a lot of intel. So between those three, it's going to be very difficult for them to get a plant down. They do at least have the Thatchers to be able to dispatch and disable some of those. They can disable the Evil Eyes temporarily, take out the Black Eyes, as well as temporarily disable the Pulse sensor. So that will be useful if they keep some EMPs left when they go for a plant, because they can hit that smoke with the Jackal and then actually go for a plant. And at that point, DZ would be flying blind. Temporarily, at least. But instead, they're using it to help push the stairs at the moment. And of course, there is going to be a shotgun on the stairs, because what else would you do? He's going to lose his sight temporarily, but you certainly don't need the red dot or the reflex for a shotgun.
That's for sure. Crusher's taking a lot of damage here. I'm not sure from what. Maybe a bit from BC downstairs. The problem with this, Nyx actually, because of this hatch being open. Oh, what? That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to go the other way. Mitt will lose all of his
ways,
holes. They work both ways. Achieved and Crusher will be so low on HP here, and Nick's gonna set up again for an extra ADS. No, he's gonna walk away from it, and Mint is being watched, but oh, Nyx, don't do it. Shotgun in hand, Nyx.
Good night.
Mint with one, Mint with the second on the floor, and Nyx will find one more on Bolo. The entirety of TSM are just down as they try to rush mid. Nope, it does not work out. See the Maverick trying to walk around the corner here on the white stairs. Hot and cold dispatches Merc. And Bio's looking for any logic in this situation, but Hyper is just not on point so far. Turns around, finds the head. Hyper finishes it all up. Round number one will be flawless from DarkZero.
They nearly don't take any damage at this point. That was definitely a good start for DarkZero. Very much in control of that round.
What happened there?
The upside for TSM is they can't play that site 2 times in a row.
But what happened? I mean, Skylight hatch was open. You were trying to push by the stairs. Is it just DarkZero just stuck in place in one gunfight?
Here's the adjustment, though. This is the Capital. They couldn't deal with behind the servers. Crusher was focused on fighting the guy behind the servers. Because of that, he was not really being effective in doing much to suppress from those server stairs. As he was just holding those angles, he got rotated on from below because he wasn't able to do much. Now they're bringing the Capital to be able to deal with that. I mean, that's not the site anymore, but the idea is the Capital will give you the ability to flush people out when you're trapped in those angles. Now, of course, we'll see if they bring that Capital when they actually go to attack CCTV again. Now they're going to be attacking CEO because, of course, they have switch bomb sites. So we'll see. Hyper going to be bringing out the Doc to play those long angles. So not a surprise there. In this case, though, the Capital going to be very useful. Now, they got to anticipate potentially going to CEO. And where Capital is going to be most useful is if anyone's playing in that elevator. Doc Bulletproof Camera, rather than going onto Banana, is going to be going over to watch the actual hallway, going all the way down towards Stock, if I understood where he positioned that correctly. And they're going to reinforce that wall in the hallway so that it can't be easily shot through from the window rappel. Now, of course, if they had Habana not being banned, they could open that up. But since Habana is banned, they know that will stay secure and can safely put the bulletproof camera on it.
It's a very strong position atop those stairs. You've seen it used so many times. It's a great effect, really. So I wonder how TSM will try to play against it. of course, you have the Capitao, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think the Capitao gets much stronger once you force somebody into the elevators. You see Maestros just kind of lock themselves up in those positions and then just get burnt to smithereens.
Well, the upside is with the bulletproof camera facing back towards the hallway, he can check his own exit to be able to rotate out of the elevator towards the hallway, assuming he doesn't get shot exiting the elevator if he's in there.
Oh, there you go. Merc's going to get his drone in.
Interesting way to throw it in. Something you rarely see, just chuck it through the window there, almost like it's a death threat.
Just hold a rock and shuck it at the class.
Right? A drone
My
attached
bank
to
now.
it. This is a note for you. Wish to make a withdrawal.
A bomb has been
In
located.
blood. So far, though, a bit of a slow round. Is TSM not wanting to get into the building and get shot up quickly like they did last round. Instead, they're going to drone a bit more carefully this time. They do have achieved to be able to identify at least the electronics. That'll help spot out some of those goo mines, black eye cameras, and the evil eyes. So it will help give them additional intel that they need. There will be the pulse, of course, this time to spot. But nonetheless, Chiefs has definitely got an important job here to make sure they don't walk in totally blind outside of just droning. But at least there's nothing to deny the drones. No mutes, no Mozzie.
No, I'm still waiting for the window reverse repel here to look on down to the site. Bolo will actually come in here from the main lobby entrance. So, kill an evil eye on the top. And Cole will lose one of them, and soon was the second one on barbed wire. Not sure. Hanako will actually peek around the center and find a free kill on Bolo. Okay, that's definitely not something you were expecting, and Bolo was definitely not expecting that one. Merc's watching the Doc, but Doc's going to walk on up slowly, and Hyper will stay alive. So no damage done so far to DarkZero. Spray through the soft wall on the back, and a bit extra damage done to Merc.
Interesting keeping it soft.
Just to fire in to the opposite. I mean, there's no mute, there's no bandit, there's no Clyde. And the Nyx actually turns turns around and finds the kill unachieved. And one more for Hyper as he locks onto Bio. Firing through the wall, but unfortunately for BC, his opponents are a bit too far back. Leaves only Merc and Crusher alive. Well, I'll say that. Merc only alive versus the 5 from DarkZero. Hot and Cold barely has any HP, and close to a free kill here is Hyper just going to keep control of it. Mint will dive out, find the kill.
Defender is approaching a kill
And
zone.
DarkZero will not lose a single player.
Flawless round, part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Defenders have disabled
That's right.
the bomb diffuser.
Well, dance is definitely what they'll be doing on TSM's grave, the way things are going so far. Not looking good at all. DarkZero just really seem in control of this, although it is surprising TSM were able to sneak that plant down. It's definitely a better round for Crusher that round in terms of getting that down. Unfortunately, pretty much all of his teammates were dead at that point. Bolo, unfortunately, giving away too much information, trying to fight the lobby solo, which has just so far not really been working out for him. They are going to go tellers this time, so I imagine they might be able to get into lobby yet again. But they've got to focus on taking the top floor now. At this point, I think Bolo needs maybe a little bit more support, as it's not been working out so great. They are going to have some drone denial, this time with Hot and Cold on Mozzie. Merc actually going to switch over to the Ash, not necessarily needing the Capitao so much for this site. No mute actually coming off there from Hyper. So that's, I mean, they know the Thatcher's there, so I guess that makes some sense. The mute is great for denying all of the walls necessary, as well as the drone coming in, because there are a lot of walls to potentially deny. You've got the ones from the office, there's 3 walls there. The 2 that Hot and Cold are reinforcing right now going out to the tellers, and then the 2 going out to the stairwell off to the side of tellers. So between those, 4 mute jammers will do the job, as well as deny the drone hole from the open area small office. But if they have a Thatcher, none of that really means too much. So I can understand the usefulness of instead just trying to get intel, and I do wonder if they'll leave some of those walls soft again to be able to try and fight that. At least they'll be leaving this wall open here. Hot and Cold opening up a rotate. Does take a bit longer to do with the Super Shorty than some of the other guns, because only having 3 bullets means you're going to be reloading a lot of the time. Good denial of a drone entrance there coming through the open area, drone hole. Although if they break open the window, not too hard to throw a drone over that, so you won't slow them down too much, just maybe take advantage of any over-eager players who want a drone without opening the window. But Bolo again looks to be going for a lobby push.
It's again the same style here from TSM on the rappel. You need to fight the top floor, that's for sure. And DarkZero putting anybody up and around it. Now you see the Valkyrie on the opposite end. There's a lot of reinforcement here, so a lot dedicated from DarkZero. See if they can keep up this undefeated perfect streak.
Oh, there it is. Not catching Bolo, though.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
Oh, and a kill. There we go. TSM will lose the first one, and that is their only hard breacher. The Thermite taken away. A big kill for DarkZero here. It'll give them a huge advantage. And is the wall open? No, it is not. The Fuser is just on the floor, and it was a free kill here. Just a Nitro Cell.
They almost might want to consider bringing in a Maverick instead of a Thatcher at this point, just to have the redundancy in the hard breacher and also something to stop them from stopping the walls from getting opened.
They're bringing the Zofia and the Ashe and the IQ. You're kind of doubling down on that soft breach. And DarkZero continue to be perfect so far. As you see the Alda rattle out and find another kill. That's the Zofia eliminated. Leaves the Ashe, Thatcher, and the IQ last alive as Merc will go through and eliminate some of the goo mines that are set before by PC. A bit of a thank you message. As he walked away. Next is holding on to Archives alone. Bio continues to achieve. Has already expended all of his breaching charges. But drones will be used away, and the Maestro will run away from. Oh, he'll run again.
I don't know if he's teasing, baiting him, or like honestly doesn't know that he's up there. I guess we'll find out in just a second here. Claymore is in his pocket as well, so if he dies with that, not to mention his EMPs, but no, looks like Maestro was unaware. He was focused on a different angle.
Bio now is inside of the site. He spots the rotation hole, but the entirety of the wall is soft. It's meant for that on purpose, just for rotations. Chief will find another, but hot and cold. Shutting down Biologic. Hyper with one on a Merc, leaving only one alive. That's achieved on the AQ as he walks into the site, at least trying to. Nitro Cell will keep him on his toes here as he finds the hole that's been opened up. Pre-firing, but he's looking through the long angle. Hyper turns around and finds Achieved as he walks on in from the open area. DarkZero might have lost their flawless streak, but
yeah,
certainly a close to flawless round.
That is the best thing I can say about that TSM attack, is that at least it wasn't another flawless round. That was really unfortunate. So far, one thing DarkZero are absolutely taking advantage of is bringing intel. Tons of intel, intel denial, Mozzies, mutes, Maestros, Valkyries. It's just a pulse as well. Like, they are absolutely just continuing to DarkZero in on TSM at every moment. And just outside of that Maestro getting caught off guard, they're not really getting caught off guard. And it seems to be TSM just not having any idea how to play this against them. And again, this is the map, and like you said, the strats don't necessarily matter so much as DarkZero know this map inside and out. And right now they are definitely just sieging it up in here. There's just no penetration really happening from TSM. They're outside of getting the one plant down. So far, that's the farthest they've been able to get, the closest they've been able to get to a potential win. But that was without even getting any kills. So far, Chief and Bio, no, I guess there must have been one other kill there. Chief and Bio both have one. Hyper doing a pretty good job as well as everyone, but BC actually surprises me, but I'm sure BC will climb up there as
a couple assists.
Yeah, he's softening them up. He's definitely doing a good job capturing their drones as well and denying those drones.
Just setting around a similar setup to what we saw before with rotation holes and even opening up the hatch. It's definitely something that's unorthodox, as the usual is reinforce all the hatches, barrel them all down, and then walk on back to the site. See the barricades that have been put up by the castle of DarkZero, just to block off rotation points between them. Back white stairs and the front, and a Nitro Cell will connect. Hyper will find a kill on the Thatcher. Hyper's just been doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, the Chief's going, you know what, I'll take the Thatcher, you take the Maverick, and then you just take it out. Now, they didn't really need the Thatcher necessarily in combination with Maverick, but at the same time, I can understand it for this site for what I was saying last time about trying to deny a lot of their intel. There's one black eye spotted. At least Merc really needs to help with that, though, to make sure that now that they have no Thatcher, they have some idea where a lot of those gadgets are, so they can at least work around them. So they're definitely trying to push from the top down this time, but it's costing them a lot of time. They've already spent a minute getting set up for this, lost one of their attackers, and they're only going to continue to get slowed down as they get closer to the site. And they're, of course, really going to struggle again to try and take those server stairs against that shotgun.
You know what the problem is? Whenever TSM are losing a player, it's because DarkZero are catching them off guard in positions where TSM just don't feel that there would be any pressure to be put on top of them. You saw in this very round where the Thatcher was killed, literally on the Vulcan.
Yeah, they just can never feel comfortable.
And the instant you're like, okay, this is fine, is the moment that DarkZero will pounce against you. Mint will dodge away from double flashbangs here. We'll throw an extra gas canister. He still has one in the back pocket with 1:05 left on the clock. This is just burning away a lot of time. And that's why you saw that top roam. Oh, needs to keep firing down his opponents. He actually drops Bio and Crusher and a third one as well. Can he go for the finisher and take down Bolo? Yes, he can through the smoke and Hyper on a Merc. It's a massacre and yet another flawless round. We're breaking records all around here, Devin.
This is a massacre. This is just, I mean, what was that? Just keep feeding them? Like, okay, I can understand the first round when they did it. But the second time, just lining up. I appreciate that you pushed him when he was throwing the smoke, knowing that he might take a second. But it's a shotgun. You hip fire it. He doesn't need the ADS. You can't really catch a shotgun off guard like that. I mean, unless he was mid-sprint or something, you're not gonna surprise him that easily. And they're not really doing much utility-wise other than flashbangs to try and stop him. He doesn't really care. He just turns around every time. They almost need a Ying at this point to just completely Candela in there. That's maybe their best chance. But at least they won't have to fight CCTV again. Because it literally can't happen again. So,
you know, Devin,
I'm trying to find a positive in this. Because I don't want to see that again. That was tragic. Well, Bio's going to take back over that Thatcher role as Achieve didn't live long enough to prove he could do anything different with it. So he's going to be back on that IQ for the CEO attack. Now, last time Bolo was trying to push it through ATMs, got caught off guard. Nyx has a camera up top there to be able to spot him again. So, wonderful to see a repeat, and if he'll try and push again. They really need to adapt at this point because they are losing, and losing hard. The number of flawless rounds so far is just really putting TSM to shame, unfortunately. And I was hoping today might be a bit of a turnaround for them, but it just seems like DarkZero just establishing dominance. Now, of course, things could switch around. It's certainly not over yet, but it might just be 2 rounds, 3 rounds from over. Hyper and Mint definitely doing a lot of the work for team. Again, BC still not finding any kills in 4 rounds, but guess what? He's only died once, too. So, there's that.
It's all about the assist.
He's just not getting a chance to kill them. The rest of the team's doing too much.
Stop being so good.
He's just like, you got this, guys. No worries.
I'm just here for the moral support. I'm just here for the ride.
Well, he was, coach analyst or whatever before, so. I mean, probably not so much on the coaching side, probably more on the analyst side, but you never know.
Well, Crusher's going to walk on in for at least once. Won't be pressure put on top, and the drone will open things up potentially here for Bolo. Information, but the Valkyrie actually is pushed back, and they can be happy that they can maybe fight the Valk solo here, Nyx. But this is Nyx, and this is a Valkyrie.
I like the pinch attempt at least.
Yep.
There we go.
He's going to be stunned. Nitro Cell thrown right in, but Bolo will find the kill. No damage done this time to TSM. It's a great entry for them as they eliminate not only the Valkyrie, Nyx, but also the Nitro Cell.
Yeah, definitely important to take those out because we've seen Nitro Cell's been their death as well. But at the same time, that is just 1 death among 4 lethal players left on DarkZero. They have the Jackal left alive, though, which is good to be able to track down any of the remaining players, at least get some ID on the position because, as I said, DarkZero seem to always have an ID on theirs. You can imagine most of those black eyes were put up before the death of Nyx. So they will still continue to have that information.
Hot and Cold is so focused in the one position. And is the head spotted? Yes, but it's Bio to find BC. Hot and Cold on the Bolo. Pressure will go for the fuser plant, but Smirk actually has gone onto the site itself. Pre-fire from Hot and Cold will find Bio. And fire from Mint, actually from Janitor. Will turn it into a 2v2. Let's try to not stack up here, DarkZero, as they assault the reverse repel. Achieve will find one on Hot and Cold. And again, this reverse repel is just so powerful. There's 2 of them. How do you even deal with these? Merc now is on the outside of the open wall. Oh, he's gonna. Oh no! Oh, is he actually gonna do it? Mint is gonna stick it. A few seconds left. Merc turns around the last second and he fires into him. TSM. Oh baby, if you only knew how close you were.
That's a highlight moment right there. That was, what a play. And first round on the board for TSM, a much more impressive round. CEO was their most successful one before in that they got the plant down previously. They got it down that time as well. It was a little late on the kill into Crusher after he got the plant down. And that's really what saved them, was of course he had to go for that. Then of course the kill from Achieved following that up, turning it into a 2v1, made it so there couldn't be any jump outs. And that's the thing, is you can a lot more safely repel out the window when you know you have the man advantage. Because if they have 2 people left alive, they could jump out as Mint did in the previous round, kill you, and then have someone left alive to actually get the defuse done. But if you have a 2v1 situation against them, unless you get picked peeking the window, you have the advantage. So Crusher yet to find a kill, but neither has BC, who finally got picked off again in a much better round for TSM. But now they've got to deal with the second attempt at CEO, which surprises me. They don't just go to Tellers. They were just fine on Tellers before, and so far the CEO has been their weaker bomb site. So it's interesting that they would choose to go here again.
10 seconds to insertion.
But you never know. Maybe they've got some adaptations in mind
5 seconds left.
to be able to make this a little bit better. So far, not changing up too much on their lineup. I'm not sure if they brought the castle before. I don't think so, though.
Seen the castle, I believe, once before this.
Yeah, I don't think they brought the previous round though.
No, not the previous round. I don't think it was. Actually, no, you might be right. They didn't bring it a single time.
I mean, castle's generally pretty useful for this bomb site, so. But they had other operators in mind, so.
Well, TSM broke down the previous round by shutting down their own play early on.
Yeah, that really helped. The pinch onto Nyx downstairs on the Valkyrie. Now BC's taking over the Valkyrie, and Nyx is playing that castle. So it's going to be a little bit different, and I imagine might not get caught off guard as easily, as he's going to be playing a bit differently. But Merc actually spotting Hot and Cold from behind. Hot and Cold's been quite the beast, though, along with Hyper, so getting an early kill onto that Maestro would make, I think, such a huge difference in this attack in terms of turning things around, making it a little bit easier. But just still, getting a kill on someone like Nyx, who's usually really on top of his kills, is great as well. But Hyper on that dock, I have a feeling, is going to be quite a contention if they get that far. A lot of repelling windows going on, though, and this could backfire on them. Nope, they're actually going to go down. Take the lobby instead.
Yep. In the meantime, I don't see a Merc just waddle into the lobby.
Waddle. Little penguins just wandering on in.
Noot, noot. Wait, wrong region. Hyper's just using the castle barricade to his advantage here. It's a lot more difficult to deal with him, and this is where you'd love to have the Zofia to support.
Yeah, Bolo's on the other side of the map, unfortunately.
Been pretty busy with it. Oh, it's a great position for a Black Eye that was preset by the Valkyrie. And he'll just be able to easily fire into his opponents. The Alda action of Hot and Cold will find Bio. And drops Hot and Cold on the floor in the meantime as Bolo will go for the refrag. Merc with one of BC with another. That's 2 kills here for BC. The smoke will trap him into position, but he's got the support of Mint. Achieved the kill. Oh, at least Mint from the grave. Achieved the pre-fire into side of the wall here, so he'll have to dive on in. He's the last man alive, and he actually has gone into the site itself. He'll destroy the barbed wire. He pre-fires the... Oh, he was so close to hitting BC around the corner. He's just going to watch the diffuser here in the hallway. BC's going to hear his opponents walking in. Achieved will find the kill. It's a double for him. We'll have to take down Nyx. 5-5-2 versus the UMP, and there's so little time left. Nyx is playing it smart here, just standing behind the bomb chassis. He knows that Achieved has to go for the plant. He's going to try to time it correctly. Goes in for it. He's right behind the bomb. Goes in, no time left. He pre-fires into it, but Achieved turns around, and the headshot is found. Nyx gets dropped, and TSM secure yet another round. Back of Achieved.
What a mistiming from Nyx,
man.
unfortunately. I really liked the pinch that came out from Bolo. They focused so much attention on fighting in the lobby, especially since they were getting kills and trying to defend the elevator and the top of the stairs on Banana and everything. And Bolo coming around from behind, while he got traded after his kill, really disrupted a lot of their defense and really tore it apart. After that, of course, achieved playing his window still. Just great clutch attempt from him because he wasn't able to be as effective early in the round. Definitely made up for it later. And again, CEO seeming to be the weakness of DarkZero is while they didn't lose it every time, they actually got pretty close the first time as well. So them choosing to play it again, I guess I was right, was a bit of a mistake. They should have gone to tellers. However, sides have switched, and TSM now going to be on defense, turning on CCTV. Again, no surprise there. They're going to be going with a similar defensive lineup, what we saw before. DarkZero, leaving nothing to chance, is going to bring both hard breachers and a Thatcher, Jackal and an Ash, so they're definitely set up for a take here. Will TSM roam, though? Will Bolo, for example, be on a roam with the Valkyrie? Or will he stay a bit more on site with his C4s to be able to help out to stop the plant? Time will tell.
10 seconds left.
Something you said before, but wherever may they roam, or wherever
They may roam?
they may roam,
As
they'll definitely be right in the lightning
That's right.
to the end of this round. Hope there's going to be enough whiskey in the jar
for whom the bell tolls?
for whom the bell tolls.
1. Didn't even bother to tie that one up.
Yes, maybe this is supposed to be like very easy to reference, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see who the Unforgiven will be at the end of the round.
I like Hyper going in for the approach. Similar to the way that that last round they had the Jackal also on TSM go in. Because he's going to be able to drone and then also look for any footprints to see if anyone might be nearby that might have roamed near the ATMs. It gives you a chance to look for anyone kind of close and be able to track some footprints. It still is kind of a big open area, though. If you walk in and just try and scan some footprints, you're standing kind of out in the open, although you'd have a little bit of range if it's near the entrance. But so far, it looks like DZ playing very careful, trying to figure out where TSM is. And so, like I said, they were playing off a ton of intel on their defense. Now they're trying to do the same thing on offense, something that we saw a bit of back and forth with in terms of last match, EG versus Rogue. Nyx, however, though, going to be a little more aggressive as he's going to be the Ashe player. They are droning for him, of course, but he's going to take map control rather quickly.
He's already in. He's taking control of the hall. Oh, no. Oh, what? Okay.
Nyx just saved Hyper's life.
Okay, this is just so weird in so many ways. But at least DarkZero.
This is what I want to see. What are they going to do to take those server stairs differently?
Yeah. There's Crusher in the same position as we saw DarkZero setting themselves up before. It actually has to fall back due to the Texan Dynamite opening up the Skylight hatch. There you go.
That didn't seem to matter, though, for DarkZero.
Yeah, they just doubled down on it.
Oh, this is what Nyx is going to do for it. Open up the hatch and pressure from dirt and have someone push the stairs or put pressure on the stairs at the same time. There's pretty much nothing the smoke can do.
There you go. Nyx gets the information from his teammate's drone that it's all clear and fine and dandy. They know that there's achieved in the back of the Pulse. Just got to be watching. But 45 seconds, you can still clear out quite a bit. Texan Dynamite had already been used, but all you need is Mint on the Maverick here to open up a small hole and fire into his opponents in the back. There's some extra angles as well to be opened up. The Maestro with the pixel angle all the way from Garage. Something you have to keep watching for quite a bit. EMP throwdown as Hot and Cold is so far uncontested. And is he actually going to get this done? Yes. Okay, DarkZero left with 5 players, TSM at 4, and this is a massive, massive blunder by TSM. They just saved up all of their utility, used almost nothing except for the smoke. BC's holding off in the cross here, but it's already 2 for Hyper as he finds both Crusher and Bio, and he's just laying on the floor. The strategy 101. BC looking for anybody walking down into the site. Might be a Nitro Cell heading his way in just a moment. But no, it's Hot and Cold to find 2 kills. All right, DarkZero just absolutely demolished TSM.
Another flawless round for them.
Is this the Pro League game with the most flawless rounds ever?
It might be. I mean, they are
specifically from one team. I mean, what DarkZero has had 4 out of 5 rounds be flawless.
I wish that was verifiable, but I'm sure no one has been tracking the long history of flawless rounds in this game.
No.
Either way, though, it is definitely feeling like a record-setting one. Bio actually going to bring the first clash here. Should be interesting.
Where are they going to run this again? Are they going to play back? Yeah, they're going to play CEO. So Clash most likely is going to be used to hold on to the hallway.
Yeah, top of stairs.
Yep, just 90, hold on to Banana. That's usually the position where you will set a Clash. And then it just depends on how you're going to play behind her. Support, you might see the Maestro, you might see the Jaeger. And I'm very curious if TSM will attempt to roam outside of that top floor or just really stick to it and try to hold on for as long as possible, because I think opening up too many holes in their defense is going to be very easily exploitable right there at DZ.
Yeah, I mean, DZ definitely tried to hold a lot of it, especially that corner right there where Chief's at. But at the same time, TSM seemed to find a weakness in a lot of time, and also the lack of focus on the backside allowed Crusher to get the plant down multiple times. So we'll see if TSM's going to make the same mistake in terms of letting that backside fall easily. Obviously, you don't want to get pinched, so you do want to make sure that you're guarding the lobby side as much as possible, but you really got to hold both as much as you can. Try and do something to deny them entering, but there is, again, no denial, and again, Thatcher being brought. You can try an impact trick, I suppose. Ooh,
okay.
Mix with,
okay.
I don't know if that was even intentional. But Crusher, unfortunately,
has been crushed.
Is the one to get smoked.
Oh man. That's a double dad joke, by the way. Double pun. Hit him with the old 1-2.
Like Nyx just did.
Yeah.
Well, Nyx obviously has some good sight on the lobby as well. So they're definitely not going to be able to rotate freely. Just a lot of good, again, droning, Jackal, everything they've got here coming out to make sure that TSM not going to sit comfortable anywhere. And the way things are going, could see another flawless round. Although it's going to be hard to pin down the Clash completely without losing anyone. They are not bringing the Capitao at all, interestingly enough, for this push. Which is definitely something that, regardless of the elevator, would help with taking out a Clash. Maestro is going to be up by the elevator, though, in the corner. Not actually in the elevator, but there's the Clash in the hallway, as you mentioned. Going to be cutting off from the janitor side to make sure they cannot cross easily, but also providing eyesight to have some idea when they're going to open the wall, how they're playing it, if they go for a run out, where they're going to be positioned. And looks like Merc actually coming up to back him up.
This is where we'd love to have a Zofia just to stun the Clash and deal with her, but
you can't at least take out the taser with an EMP, but BC takes out Achieved anyways.
oh, one more. Can he find it? No, every bullet is just hitting the railing. Nyx diving around. It's Merc to drop right behind him. There's nobody on Repel just yet. You see instantly BC just moving on down to not get hit. And now the site is wide on open for Hot and Cold.
He sees the Evil Eye, but just can't do anything about it.
He doesn't want to put his diffuser down just yet. He's awaiting information from his teammates. His mint is already taken away. Maestro will move on in, but into the crossfire as Merc will find one more on Hot and Cold. It's just doing work here for the team. It's a 2v2. And turning actually into 2v1. It's only the Clash left alive. How is she going to fight? Not for long. Hyper finds the kill. Bio taken away. You can have that fully automatic SBSMG all you'd like. And it's a great gun to use. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to bikini body your opponents every day.
Nope. And CEO still not with a great track record. Unfortunately, rather than go to Intelligence, they're going to try CEO again. They learned nothing from DarkZero. However, that being said, they did much better that round. It was not a flawless round for DZ. So there is that. There was some potential there. But it did get picked apart pretty easy. Bio actually not going to go with the castle. Again, going to bring the Clash. To be fair, he was the last to die. So at least he didn't get picked off early, for whatever that's worth. Did provide some good intel and try and push back a bit, but just the coordination wasn't there. Also, Hot and Cold getting into sight. It wasn't even to go for the plant. It was that he could provide a flank they were just completely unaware of. You see him up there at 9 kills, Hyper at 10. Mint also at 9, and BC has managed to pick up 4 to that last round and 2 in a previous round. Crusher, however, still struggling a bit, unfortunately. Bio and Bolo as well, not really showing up there as much as they would like. Merc and Achieve, though, as expected, trying to pull their weight. But with the number of flawless rounds that have come out from DZ, of course, the kills are going to be fairly low from
10 seconds
TSM.
left.
There's that Bartlett University degrees there. I didn't actually notice that before. Nice touch. So much lore to be had.
Objective is to locate
I don't
a
think the
bomb.
lore digs that deep.
You have no idea how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I actually do.
Okay. Can't argue with that.
Have you provided any proof for those allegations? No. You said I should.
They're in my safe deposit box. Hold on, let me attack bank and get it.
Well, this might be it here for TSM. Might be able to recover the round. There's a bit of damage done here. Hot and cold early on as a trade to name it. But big question is, will TSM actually be able to find a way to deal with DarkZero? Because certainly now, it doesn't really seem to be the case.
I like the angle Nyx is holding. If they can bait him out in the lobby to trying to go for a pick, could be a free kill for Nyx. They just need to go into the lobby, start to act like they're going to put some pressure on the stairs and see if he comes down. Because he was trying to approach last time when Nyx ended up fighting him, right? On the pillar. I like the way Nyx was dodging using the pillar last time, too. That was great. Clash coming around the hallway, as you saw there for a second as well, going to be playing the same position. But now Nyx spotted out in ATM, so they know he's going to be approaching down there.
Continues to check the drone as he goes back on the rappel. This time on the main lobby entrance. He free fires into the same position. Nobody to be found. Hyper is just firing behind Clash. The player is spotted, but Merc actually will dive on in and find the kill on Hyper. It's a great trade here, and Nyx will find Merc. It's all the way from distance in the lobby. We'll have to drop on down and actually fight his way back up to the site. We're at a minute 15 left on the clock, and the wall will be opened up as so far TSM are not bringing anything able to stop their opponents from doing so. Banned, caught, or with a mute. Nyx will continue. He'll drone himself into the lobby.
For being 2 minutes into the round, he probably shouldn't just be in ATMs at this point.
Trying to fire into the Clash, but she just turns around and eats all the bullet to the face. And it's going to be set on his own here, and it's going to flash away. And unfortunately, this window might actually come back and bite DarkZero. Depending on how things go later on. Mint's going to be stopped for just a moment, and it's from Bio to not fall into any traps here. They're getting aggressive or pulling out his SMG. They're watching for potential rotations, but the diffuser should get set, and it's actually a kill. Mint will be able to find it. No, it just dropped on the floor. Hot and Cold will find Bio. The diffuser's not been set just yet. It's been stopped for just a second. Nyx has no clue where his opponents are. He has to rush into the site. The Valkyrie will be eliminated. That's achieved. Down on the floor. Crusher with a refrag. Oh, you should know they're in Janitor. He's right up behind you. Bolo will find BC as Nyx will pre-fire into the back, but there's no time left, and the diffuser will be left on the floor right outside the previously reinforced wall. DarkZero scattered around to try to save it, but TSM will put one more in the round.
Finally, they find a defensive round they can win. CEO adaptations just barely working out there, mostly due to time. I mean, players like Nyx spending all his time in ATMs, like I said, 2 minutes in. So by the time he actually gets in, yeah, he manages to win a fight at point blank range ACOG'd in, but that's just too little too late. The diffuser just could not get down. You saw it get very close. Hot and Cold definitely made an attempt, but being stopped doing so, unlike when Crusher was getting his plant attempts down. So actually Crusher, despite his lack of kills, is definitely better at planting CEO than Hot and Cold. That's right. Bolo just having some trouble there confirming on Kaid for some reason. But this is the first Kaid we're going to see as well, and they're going to be tellers, which smartly so. They could go back to CCTV, but they just really had no luck there. Mint trying to catch up to the double digits there of his teammates. But TSM at least putting some points on the board. However, the best they can hope for here is a tie, and 1 point isn't going to do them a whole lot of good when Sonics is all the way up at 4. They're going to need some wins to crawl out of this hole, or they're definitely going to be fighting their way through relegation. And unless something changes drastically for the second half of the season, I got to imagine there's a very strong chance we see them in 7th or 8th, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to count them
So far.
out. I just am saying
so far, but it
Not a big
might
change.
just be the format that doesn't really work for them here. This is something that you iron out in time. Pojoman has definitely been pretty happy with the performance of the team on LAN. And you...
But Pojoman, of all people, should know DarkZero.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He should have been able to prepare the team for this.
How did you prepare against DarkZero, though?
Well, I mean, he's been playing with the team for so long. He should be able to provide something. I mean, come on. You got to know something about your teammates from that long. I mean, I'm sure he did more than make YouTube videos occasionally.
When's the next one coming out?
I don't know. This is important. I wish we could type in the chat and ask.
You can't.
What?
You can't.
I know. I said I wish we could. All right. Well, Crusher going to be trying to play in Janitor. BC is actually taking a fair bit of damage on this Thatcher. Vigil actually getting away here. So Merc playing something a little bit different, but Merc's been pretty effective on the Jaeger previously. Now they have no protection for grenades, not that there is any to be thrown. Rotations being open as well here. At least they're playing as best they can on the top floor, but being forced off of it isn't helping too much, especially now that Jackal's in here to track those footprints. Thankfully, at least it's not the Vigil, but now Achieved is going to be tracked, and Achieved being one of the better fraggers on the team, it's not going to be good for him to be able to position himself to try and get some of those early kills to slow this down.
A great spot from DarkZero. They might not have the buck and the grenades that you were mentioning due to the lack of the Jaeger, but breaching charges are aplenty. I'd be expecting some more from BC. I'm expecting it. I'm not sure if he still has them, so I'm not sure if we can check BC in just a second, see if he has those breaching charges or not.
Hope he's good at throwing EMPs as he has regular grenades, I'd imagine. You could use the thermite there. I mean, there's so many walls you could be opening as thermite, too. It's kind of funny to be opening that one, but if you need... Oh, it looks like maybe it got denied or maybe it didn't go off correctly. Hard to say which.
I think it went off, but it deleted the reinforcement instead of actually...
Oh, that's true. There was a reinforcement there, yeah. So, no, I think it was a soft wall. They might have just shot it. If they just shoot one shot through the middle of that wall, that would have taken it out.
If it was a soft wall or not. I digress. Mint will go in and find the bio. It's a good entry here for DarkZero. They've taken a lot of damage on both BC and Mint, but you hold off now on the rotations, and Hot and Cold will go and plant close up to the reinforcement. He's got all the advantages. Here, Bolo firing off here with the call in the back. He's going to get pushed off. Nyx will find one, Mint with another. And Merc will dispatch Mint at least, but now the retake is very difficult. You're in a 4v2 with little angles and ways to enter the site. TSM will rendezvous with one another, the last two players together. Hot and Cold will fire and find no damage from both the Vigil and the smoke. It's the last canister that was available, and he fires into the wrong angle. Crusher taken away by Hot and Cold. Merc will find one headshot. That's a double kill for him. He's going to have to ace to win it. It won't happen. Hot and Cold taking down Merc, and that's DarkZero with a victory. On the board, they put more points. Continue moving on through the entire ladder of North America. They are just unstoppable, aren't they?
Quite the beasts. Not too surprised, to be honest, but at the same time, I was hoping for a bit more coming out from TSM. They have yet to find what works, but they are against one of the top teams in this match, so it's not like they were against a lower-level team and then kind of throwing it a bit, but I got to imagine there might be some serious consideration into what they could do during the break, but at the same time, if they're playing the majors, if they qualify for it,
Yep.
which they certainly might, then they may not have as much time off. However, they will get some good LAN experience together as a team, and maybe that will help synergize things a little bit, or maybe they'll just end up recruiting at the event and finding someone that fits on the team better than someone else and find what they need to be able to take the second half. But either way, it is unfortunate they were not able to make it much farther, but DarkZero continuing their victories, looking pretty good on the leaderboard here, as they are continuing to stay on top of EG, especially after that tie.
Yeah, now the tie between EG and Rogue gives EG 1 point, so that puts them at 10. DarkZero victorious today, which puts them at a 13. So currently they are number 1. Luminosity, of course, lost their game to SSG, so they stick to the 10 points themselves. And Reciprocity are in our final matchup of the evening, so we've yet to see that. but there's a potential between DarkZero and Reciprocity, and actually that fits very well because on Monday those two teams will be facing off against one another to possibly determine who gets #1 in North America. And remember, in the previous season, Reciprocity was really bumping up the top teams the entire time until the end of the season, where both EG and DarkZero were able to make it through. Reciprocity, unfortunately, falling off the last 2 weeks. That's how it goes if you want to go. The competition's really tough.
Yeah. And as well, the tie between EG and Luminosity, they're head-to-head. EG took them 7-0, so EG actually ahead of Luminosity now as well.
Yep.
Because of that.
That is very true. So, all technicalities aside, it's going pretty well for DarkZero. EG, of course, are looking pretty good as well, even with their tie today against Rogue.
At least it didn't hurt Rogue as much as a complete loss. But it certainly didn't help them very much.
It was 6 points that it doesn't really move them anywhere. I mean,
it makes it a little harder for Sonics to catch up.
yeah, SSG end up with 12 points on the board instead of the 9 that they had. So they just keep moving on, and Rogue still keep in the bottom 3. That's it. We have an interview lined up, so let's have a quick chat. Good evening, Nix. Welcome back.
What's going on, Milosh? How you doing?
We're pretty good, and after that victory, you guys definitely should be feeling pretty well about it. You've had many flawless rounds against TSM. I'm really wondering, how were you able to break down your opponents so effectively? Because it's very rare to see that level of coordination.
It just comes down to us being prepared for the match. We had a really good chance that, we knew it was a really good chance that we can go to bank. So we, watched some VODs that they had. It's really unfortunate for TSM because they've been playing in a lot of qualifiers, so they had a lot of VOD footage that we were able to watch. And we just kind of took advantage of that and executed the way that we said we were going to. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and that's clearly the disadvantage that they have, but also the advantage that you have as well, having qualified by going to Milan in the previous season. Of course, for all the fans that are watching out there, DarkZero are already in the lineup for the Raleigh Major. Now, there was one round specifically where TSM on their attacking side were able to clear you guys out and get one of their 2 rounds on the attack. And it was specifically against you, clearing you out in the bottom basement when the defense was all the way up on CEO. How is that going around between the team to try and salvage the round, even though it didn't work out at the end?
So that was a round that was definitely unfortunate. We actually had info that they were trying to clear me too. Hot and Cold called out to me that they were going to be pushing me. I got caught. They had a really good drone to me, and Bolo just won the gunfight. But the way to salvage that round, we had information on their plant, and if on CEO, if you let them get the bomb down and try to win the post plant, you're almost gonna never win as a defender. So the only chance we had of winning that round was to kill their planner, who was playing close to the dresser in CEO, and we just barely missed him by a few seconds. So I think if we got that kill, then we maybe could have got that round. Mint almost had the ninja defuse on the 2v1 though. It was close.
Yeah, it got really, really close, like half a second away. I'm sure it got pretty tense between everybody playing in there. But one thing I want to ask finally, since we're talking about CEO, not a lot of teams nowadays are going through the whole call it bandit or a mute defense to just hold off on those reinforced walls. What's your reasoning behind doing away with that sort of strategy?
I think back in the day, that strategy was kind of viable because CEO was a newer site. Back in the day on Old Bank, people would be kind of confused on teams that replace CEO, and now in the meta, CEO is like one of the second most preferred sites, and that just comes with adaptation and how teams develop. Teams have gotten really good at window play, so bandit tricking or putting mute jammers on walls doesn't really do much because if they just repel 2 guys, 1 guy CEO windows, that guy's gonna get held and won't be able to bandit trick, and almost picked every single time. So it just comes of how teams develop over time and how strategies change. So
yeah, you're not going to be seeing much of it anytime soon. The Qaed would be really the only thing that would make sense, but even then, those impact grenades haven't really been seen much. Again, I digress. Congratulations again, Nix, on your victory here against TSM. Anything you'd like to say to the DarkZero fans out there?
And I'll just thank you for supporting us as always. We're just going to keep doing what we do, and we hope to put up some promising results in the future.
Well, your future bodes for a pretty darn cool game versus Reciprocity next Monday. So I'm very excited to see how that match ends up going, and we'll see Reciprocity later on in this evening. Maybe that'll be even a hotter game with all the points that are on the board. Again, congratulations. Thank you again. And good night.
Thanks, Milosh. Have a good night.